Hello everyone, Gen here, and today I'm going to be talking about Call of Duty World at War, all weapons, and 130 field of view. We're going to get started with the bolt-action rifles, and this was pretty easy to get, except the Arisaka footage I had originally got corrupted, so that was inconvenient, but not the end of the world. Yeah, the Kar 98K it's just there. I feel like it's not as big. It doesn't have as big a role in this game, and don't mind the Mosin-Nagant clip. Definitely not a war crime. So yeah, the scoped Mosin-Nagant I think is actually this is one of the best missions in the game, and the unscoped Springfield. I had to get this in Verrect. That's not how it's pronounced correctly, but it's how everyone in this game pronounces it, so it's Verrect. Deal with it. Also, there's a tiny little clip of ammunition right off screen when the Springfield fires. And by the way, the Springfield's just atrocious in zombies in general. It's even on higher rounds, it's just unusable. But the scoped Springfield, I think the irritating thing with that, or the Springfield in general, is that whenever you shoot, there's a little ping noise as you shoot, so it always makes me think I've got a headshot when realistically, no, I don't have a headshot. Anyway, that's going to finish up the bolt-action rifles, so let's move on to the semi-auto, or as I call them, boring rifles. Starting off with the Gewehr 43 in Silo, Germany. I think this is one of the... It just impressed me with the scale compared to some of the other missions. Particularly the sniping mission, but that's not the point. I'm going to talk about how you can do this, play World at War in 130 field of view yourself. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go into World at War's game options and click on enable console, or console enabled, and put it to yes. Then you're going to want to press the tilde key. It's right next to the 1 on the number line on your keyboard, and once you have done that, type in dev map and the developer internal name of the map you want to play, whether that's a campaign mission, a zombies map. You can't play multiplayer with this on. It would be counted as cheating, but then you type in the console CG underscore FoV and input 130 after that. Then press enter and bam, you are now playing 130 field of view. You could also use some of the other commands like God mode or give all. Anyway, now we're moving on to the SMGs, and these were easy to get. Because there are only 4 SMGs, and there's one for each faction, and they're pretty commonly found. The Russian and American SMGs are actually harder to get because there aren't Russian and American enemies. But still, the PP8 SH41 that's iconic. So iconic it got added to Black Ops 3 and Garand Launcher, but anyway, the Thompson isn't found in a later mission, but I still like it. And the Type 100 has some issues with the player's left arm. Maybe just a few issues. Nah, it's fine. Now we're moving on to the shotguns, and these were actually surprisingly hard to get, so much so that I actually just was a filthy hacker and decided to get myself the double-barreled sawed-off shotgun with the console. As you can see, this is on Naxter and Toten, which is, it's the first zombies map. You gotta respect that. Even though it was a little bit simple and a little small. The double-barreled shotgun I got on Verrect. Again, console commands, and I'm not sure if I kept misspelling it, or if the console just wasn't working, but typing in the give command didn't really work as well as I would have hoped. Now, the M1897 Trench Gun, which it's a weapon that was built in the century before this game takes place. See, M1897. That's just impressive to consider. It's a pretty good shotgun, though. Maybe not in multiplayer so much, but anyway, onto the LMGs. The bar, I think, is probably my least favorite LMG. It just feels too much like a clunky assault rifle and not enough like a light machine gun. I'm sorry, Bar fans. The Bar is just not a gun that feels good in my hands. I don't like it. Anyway, onto the Browning M1919, which I think is a better gun. Yeah, it's one of the big bad LMGs of this game, along with, of course, the MG42, aka Hitler's Buzzsaw. But right now we're on the FG42, which it feels like an assault rifle like the Bar, but a good assault rifle. So I personally don't mind. It fires ridiculously fast, though, and I've heard they would destroy themselves in real life. Now, onto the MG42, aka Hitler's Buzzsaw. I'll just let the footage speak for itself. It's one of the most devastating weapons, mounted or unmounted, but personally I prefer the unmounted versions as you can move with it. And as we're on the Type 99, you might notice that there's one LMG missing. That's the DP28, aka the Dinner Plate 28. I don't know what it's called in Russian, but it's only available in the mission Blood and Iron, and you're a tank in that mission. So, yeah, I couldn't get it. And here's a mounted Type 100, despite that being an SMG. But, weird SMG, LMG mounted machine gun hybrids aside, let's go on to the handguns and pistols. The first of which is the M1911, and really, the M1911's name, that speaks for itself. So now we're on to the 357 Magnum, which it's disappointing compared to the Magnum in Half-Life. I'm sorry, it just is. But I'm spoiled on Half-Life, and we're onto the Nambu, a pistol that it was one of a kind in general regarded to be bad, probably for good reason. The P38, it's just there. It seems like the Kar98K of pistols, in that I don't really know what to say about it, because the Kar98K was in several games before this. And now it's time for some fun with the special weapon category, and the rainbow lighters are it's not an LGBT thing, it's just, I wanted to show that these special weapons are, well, special. The first one we've got is the Bazooka, which is, I haven't heard that name for a rocket launcher in a long time. So next up we've got the BRAAAINS, and if you ever wondered what the zombies do, yeah, or what they use, yeah, this. And I tried to use this against the zombies, maybe I just wasn't pressing V, but this got me killed. Because the zombies can swing 2 hits, and that was a little bit pathetic. Next we've got the default weapon, which I don't even know what to say. You're shooting out of your fingers with a pink cowbell in your left hand. What is this gun? I don't know, man. But this is pretty much the weapon that defined the American campaign for me, the M2 Flamethrower. It's used by the Germans, even though they're not meant to be using the M2. It was a stand-in for a different one that never made it into the game. And as a kind of grenade, the Molotov, which it's fuel in a rig with a bottle. Mortar shells, I think, are actually pretty fun. I had fun just running around in a co-op game with my friends with these, just chucking them at any enemies and blowing the crap out of any building nearby. Good times. Good times. Anyway, the Panzerschreck is basically a German bazooka. It's pretty much the equivalent of the bazooka, with just as obstructive sights. And of course, you can't really have special weapons without talking about the ray gun. You can get this in campaign 2, I just didn't. I got it in knocked, because I'm lazy. Anyway, the Russian grenade, it looks different. I would have the German grenade too, but and as we're finishing near the end of this, the tank, and I'm going to be talking about World at War on PC and should you buy it. Yeah, but probably not just for 130 field of view weapons, though if that's your thing, yeah, by all means. I think the real reason to buy it, though, is, well, appropriately enough, we're getting the Wunderwaffe, or Wunderwaffe, or Wunderwaffe, depending on how badly your German pronunciation is. And I think custom zombies is one of the most fun things in World at War, and it makes it worth the buy. Maybe you want to wait if it's on sale though. Anyway, we're nearing the end of the video. Thank you for watching, everyone. I will see you later. Gewehr453 out, and here's some bonus tank footage.